Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about another foreigner shot and robbed in the Philippines. Student abducted from international school is returned upon ransom amount paid with part of his pinky missing. How comfortable should one be in their skin, really? Cebu Pacific goes full AI, and much more, beginning with the US peso exchange rate. For the past couple days, the peso has been doing well against the dollar. $1 equal to 57.8. At the moment, here's our top story. A Nigerian man was shot and robbed by two men in General Trias City in the Philippines. A report from the police regional office said that the victim, a 32-year-old Nigerian residing in Imus City, initial investigation revealed that while walking to his girlfriend's house along Arnaldo Highway, two unidentified men approached the victim and declared a holdup. When the victim fought back, the suspect shot him in the back and took his wristwatch, cell phone, and wallet before fleeing on foot. The victim sought help and was rushed to the hospital. He is now in stable condition. Police are backtracking CCTV footage along the area and have launched a hot pursuit operation against the suspects. I am so happy to hear this man is in stable condition. A lot to break down over here. Another foreigner, doesn't matter if he's from Nigeria, the US, Canada, wherever. The fact is, a traveler, a foreigner, one of us, someone that stands out in a crowd, obviously, if you're not from this area, people know you're a foreigner. And sometimes that could be a bad thing if you don't play along. Unfortunately, I think he may have what's that word I'm looking for? Maybe underestimated the people that are sticking them up. So keep that in mind, guys. Your life is not worth it. Whatever you're carrying in your pocket, phone, cell phone, watch, money, it could be replaced. Even a passport, whatever, emergency travel document you can get from the embassy. Don't try to be a hero. Like, I don't want to put the blame on this guy. Of course, he's the victim, 100% agree. But if someone's holding you up, even if you think you could take them, you don't know what they got in the pocket. You don't know if that is a real thing they're holding in their hand, whether they've done this before, if they have. Because, in the Philippines or a lot of developing nations, the same level of risk and reward is not applied. You can't think the same way. So if this happens to you guys, please just consider your safety at the end of the day and maybe just go along with it and then go ahead and report it afterwards. Maybe something positive could come out of it. I'm not really sure how to feel about it because it's one of those situations, like I could talk whatever I want here right now because I'm in my comfort of this place. I'm not being stuck up. So, you know what I mean? So maybe if the time came, the man in me might come out and, I can't blame the guy. But my point is, if you're thinking of these things, if you're aware of these things, if you hear stories like this, maybe consider, hopefully this never happens to you, but if it does, consider your safety first, then maybe your wallet and watch and money. So our next story, at first I thought it was fake news. I saw this a couple days ago and it kept coming up, but not from like mainstream media. But when I saw it in the Korean Times, then I knew it was a real story. This is what I'm talking about. A student from British School Manila is missing after last week leaving the BGC campus with his family driver. The school has confirmed the disappearance and is working with law enforcement. The head of school, Martin Vander Linde, has issued a letter to the school community. Authorities are actively following leads, but have not confirmed any suspicion of foul. The public is urged to report any relevant information to avoid speculation. There was some photos going around on social media. The student's been returned, but some of his pinky missing. And people are like, wait a minute, if this is like, a legit story, why haven't we heard about it in the mainstream media? So here are some people's thoughts. Someone says, why, if this is true, does this not seem to be reported on any major news? In which someone said, probably they want to end it by paying the ransom, not involving the police. And another person says, maybe because it happened inside BGC, they like to hide whenever something happens there. Robbery, accidents, it's very rare in the news, although if you live in the area, we have a group for residents and there's discussion of these kinds of things. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? They want the reputation and the image of BGC, Bonifacio City, to remain really high. So maybe one of the reasons, maybe the police didn't want to involve the public because the person wasn't returned yet, and maybe we hear about this more in the mainstream media. Leave your thoughts regarding this story because this is not the first time, Other sources cite a Chinese student from British School Manila was allegedly abducted last week and reportedly recovered by his parents. The student was allegedly taken to Bulacan by his driver. A group reportedly asked his parents for $20 million ransom. Some photos circulating on Filipino-Chinese community forums showed that he lost one of his fingers. I want to give credit to David Doud on Facebook, who actually summarized all the articles and links and where he got this information. I'm going to go ahead and put that into the description of this video if you guys want to get some more details regarding the story. And also, actually today, 6 people that were involved in the abduction of a Korean student that ended up losing his life in 2014 have all been basically convicted. So these kinds of things do happen. I come out here telling you guys I feel safe in the Philippines. My interviews, when I do, everybody said they feel safe. But things like this happen. I like to say they're one-offs, but it happens often enough that I think you should be aware of it and to kind of go ahead and conduct yourself accordingly if you're out in public. I've seen people rocking like gold chains, like watches and rings, and I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? You're just simply, I don't want to say you're asking for it, but I think we need to be responsible a little bit for how we conduct ourselves. Not this guy, not these students, but I'm just thinking about that one guy I saw. Anyways, leave your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear about you. And then some maybe positive news, but Yolo, a 2024 study by global research firm Ipsos, found that 8 in 10 Filipinos prioritize living in the moment due to uncertainties about the future. What do you guys think of that? Living in the moment? Do you think that Filipinos are kind of living day to day instead of just worrying about the future? Because I think that's kind of true based off my experience with the local interactions. A lot of people are like in that mindset, island time, like sabay sabay, just like no worries, no care about anything. Some people might love it, some people may not, but it's definitely something that is noticeable if you've never been here. Next up, Cebu Pacific has partnered with AI customer service leader Ada to introduce its first generative AI agent, making it the first airline in Southeast Asia to fully integrate AI-powered support. I think the more I read into the story, it said they want to go ahead and make sure all the customer service handled by AI. Now, could this be the first major company in the Philippines to go ahead and go fully AI automated? Because BPOs, like business processing, outsource BPO, business processing, outsourcing, basically call centers, right? There's a lot of them in the Philippines. I think they've taken over India even, but the number of people that go ahead and support companies back in the West, basically. And there's always a fear whether the AI is going to take over. Some people say yes, 100%. Some people say no way, there's just too much or whatever. Personally, I think for the most part it will. Like, I just have this inclination that it might, but I hope I'm wrong because a lot of people rely on these jobs, or maybe they simply shift towards learning more about AI and becoming programmers, developers, and so on. So what do you guys think of that full-on AI customer support for Cebu Pacific? I know it's never easy dealing even with people. Now you got to deal with the machine. Next up, a foreign man was spotted in Thailand walking in his birthday suit outside 7-Eleven on Soi Taai, Phuket on February 4th, surprising onlookers and sparking humorous reactions online. The background of the picture showed a 7-Eleven convenience store in the alley. The foreign man with no clothing was seen walking around the parking area outside the store. Both foreigners and Thai people at the scene stared at him, but he paid no attention to anyone. It remains unclear whether he was intoxicated or under any influence of substances, and his motives for, having no clothes on. Under Thai law, public indecency such as this carry a fine of 5,000 baht, that's about 150 bucks, though similar cases in the past have often gone unpunished. Yeah, somebody enjoying themselves a little too much. Maybe he was hot. Speaking of hot, maybe. I don't know how that came. I was going to say this at the beginning, but if you guys notice anything different from my speech or the way I look today, last night I had a sore throat. So less than 12 hours in the Philippines, I had a sore throat and I thought I was going to catch a fever. And I don't know what happened. I think is one of three things possibilities. Number one, me wearing a mask most of the flight from Thailand to the Philippines because the dude next to me just was farting uncontrollably, like no shame. This dude, man, he was stinking. I could smell his colon. So I put on a mask because I don't want to, even through the mask, I could smell it. I was tasting what he had for lunch. Anyways, enough disgusting jokes. Either that, yesterday I had some fried chicken right across the street. It looked so good in the Philippines, right? I'm like, let me have some of this fried chicken. Look good. But it tasted like somebody cooked it in motor oil. Probably haven't changed the oil for a long time. But at the time, while I was eating, while I was hungry, I didn't think too much of it, but I couldn't finish it. But now that I look at it this morning, the remainder in the fridge is like almost black. So maybe that. And the third thing, because I spent 2 days before coming to the Philippines, probably the pollution in Bangkok is so bad. Maybe that has something to do with it. So what do you guys think? 1, 2, or 3? The fart dude causing me to wear a mask the whole time, me smell my own breath. I don't know. Maybe the second one, the chicken, deep fried. I don't know how that'll do it, but maybe food poisoning, perhaps. My lymph nodes were swollen up. And third is the Thai air pollution. I want to know what your theories are. Now time for our segment Yesterday Today, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. I want to start off by thanking Kevin for buying me a coffee. Thank you so much. If you guys want to show some extra love, you can go ahead and buy me a coffee. I left the link in the description. or you can scan this QR code and check that out. And if you're doing this regularly, consider becoming a member. Here are some of the top comments. Max Black says they need visa like Indonesia. You can pay and stay for 5 and 10-year visa for foreigners. Easygoing says, I guess the digital nomad will be disappointed on the internet in the Philippines. I think Philippines should fix the internet first before attracting digital nomads. And TND Production says, I've been waiting for the news for the digital nomad visa for so long. I hope they don't mess it up like they did in South Korea. There you need to prove your employer is a Fortune 500 company. And those are some of the top stories from around the Philippines and Thailand today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hello and welcome back to